Hey everyone, you may have seen this slide from last month's React Native meetup where you saw my colleague Henry present some developer productivity tools and some testing tricks we use at our early stage startup. I'm Vytautas. My background is in full stack, but now I'm fully working with React Native, and so far I've been doing animations with React Native only for last 6 months, just over last 6 months. So by all means, I'm no expert at it. However, we've been getting some quite overwhelmingly positive feedback for our app. Like, we even get some CEOs contacting our CEO and investors really saying how happy they are with our app's UX, UI, and general feel of the app. So in this talk, I'll gloss over a bit about animations ecosystem in React Native we have right now and share some tips like quick wins you can achieve in animations, like related to animations, get acquainted a bit with the reanimated fundamentals, and we'll work on an app to make improvements to like a specific screen on the app. Before we dive into various examples and use cases, let me give you a bit of context about animations. So first there was animated. It's built-in, like API built-in React Native for doing animations. You can do a lot of stuff with it, a lot of cool stuff. However, like its big drawback was it used lots of communication over bridge, and Mark said it's really inefficient and it often is a bottleneck for React Native apps. Software Mansion came in and released this library called Reanimated. It solved a lot of problems that Animated API had, but look at the code on the right. It's pretty difficult to read. Of course, it's difficult for you. It's hard to see it, but like there's lots of these kind of low-level commands, logical expressions, mathematical functions, and like it's kind of like a programming language inside programming language. And if you're not fluent with Reanimated, it's difficult just to read code and reason about it. But so they released Reanimated version 2, and they're quite the pioneers, I have to say. The most important difference in the whole concept between Reanimated 1 and 2 is introduction of worklets. Worklet spawn a secondary JavaScript context on UI thread, and it's able to basically run JavaScript methods. So essentially, it's kind of like multi-threading in React Native. So I'm not gonna dive deep into worklets today. But I feel like it deserves maybe a separate talk from some volunteers in the future. Like I'd be interested in some interesting use cases besides running animations. So this JavaScript context on the UI thread now allows me to write all our animations code in JavaScript. Like amazing. That means all my painful issues are solved. And on top of that, it's 2022, so its API comes with a neat hooks API as well. In Yonder, we're a startup. Our primary goal is to find a niche, to make a product that customers want. So we need to be pretty smart about balancing the time we invest in polishing the existing product versus shipping out new features. So let me show you some approaches we use that we have found to be extremely time efficient. In React Native, components appear and disappear instantly whenever you add it to the component hierarchy. It's not something we are used to seeing in the real world, and layout animations are here to address this problem and help you animate the appearance and disappearance of any view. So Reanimated version from version 2.3 onwards provides an easy API to animate entering and exiting animation, or in React terms, mounting and unmounting of components. So like on the left-hand side, you can see some predefined animations, that layout animations that Reanimated offers, and just picked a couple of them to see in action. And if you don't like the pre-made ones, you can always define your custom layout animations. I've been pretty happy with a fade in, fade out, but there have been cases where I needed custom layout animations. And I want to showcase an example in our app at Yonder where I found layout animations to be a great fit. This is a transaction detail screen, and the background image is fetched from content management system and appears after a little lag after you've entered the screen. So to mitigate the visual shock of image just appearing out of nowhere for the user, which is, as you can see in the code example, we just wrapped it in animated view and add this entering property, pass in, fade in the predefined reanimated layout animation. Next suggestion on quick wins I have is Lottie. It's an open source animation file format developed by Airbnb. The screenshot on the right is from their docs, and it says, allowing apps to use animations as easily as they use static images. Sounds crazy good to me, but let's see some examples, verify if this really works. As you can see, using Lotties in the app is pretty easy. It's just one line of code where you need to pass a JSON object into this Lottie view component that comes from the library itself. And that JSON is really small. Like for this animation on the right, it's just a 9 kilobyte JSON. Just to have a look at some other examples of Lotties we have in our app, building these with Reanimated 2 would be, a bit quite consuming. So, just drop in a JSON is quite a neat, quick solution. I guess really important thing to note is JSON format of the file means we can place it in a content management system and serve it remotely. So it does not even have to be inside the app bundle. So essentially it does work like static images, just as the docs claim. Now that we've covered quick wins, we can improve our app. Let's start by diving into what we can do with the regular usage of Reanimated 2. So firstly, just from their API, I guess the first thing you will notice is that they have this shared value, which is a shared memory between UI and JS threads. In code example, you can see initiating a new shared value through use shared value hook and JavaScript making changes to it. Next thing on the list, we have use derived value. Derived value just changes in response to a shared value dependency. So in this example, if shared value SV were to change, the variable derived updates accordingly. So let's work together on this example here. Example is after attending a local experience, like we allow our users to choose either earn or redeem. So earn means they would earn more points on their particular transaction, or they can redeem the experience to just get it for free. So yeah, this is so far very basic non-interactive screen. We just use the bottom sheet component, and let's work on it to make it look nicer. So I'm interested in running some animations based on the bottom sheet scroll value. The bottom sheet luckily exposes an animated value of the distance between the top of the screen and the bottom sheet kind of handle, like the top of the bottom sheet. So code-wise, I'm just creating a shared value and passing it into the bottom sheet component, and bottom sheet component updates the shared value for me. But the whole concept of the animated position being from the top of the screen, it's kind of difficult for me to wrap my head around. So I want to create this scroll value where I'll have the offset from the initial starting point of the bottom sheet and how far it can go up. So I've created this derived value using the animated position, did some pretty basic maths, just subtraction, and dropped in a console log, and yeah, you can see we have the scroll value, basically the offset from the initial position. All right, now that we have the scroll offset, scroll value, what shall we do with it? So to make the screen feel a bit more natural, let's create parallax effect where we simulate a few layers on top of each other which scroll at different speeds. So in this example, I could see like 3 sort of layers that could scroll at different speeds. So yeah, at the very front, we can see the bottom sheet, and then the second layer would be the text, and the last layer in the very back is the background image. To achieve the parallax effect, we're creating animated styles for text and image, and apply the translation across the y-axis. So basically, we need to move them vertically. Text translating like just at the 1/5 of the speed of bottom sheet, like you can see like multiplying by times 0.2, so 1/5 of the speed, and the image itself by the 1/10 of the speed. Just keeping the numbers really low so my text doesn't go off screen. I still want to see my text, right? Let's see how it looks. This should be a GIF, and it should play. Wait, let's try again. Oh, there we go. Let me try to refresh the page. There we go. Now we should see some parallax effect without any lag. So yeah, next up, let's consider handling some updates from using the the handling in the bottom slider. Here you can see I'm just simulating the state changes to the loading and to the success state through set timers, just for the sake of simplicity. We're sliding the handle to the right, meaning we choose to earn points, and that means our transaction becomes regular transaction, and let's just see how it happens. So it's all not animated, so it's really abrupt. It just appears out of nowhere. Yeah, let's explore some ways we can make this look better. In my head, I imagine it will look great if as we slide down, the loading screen kind of would push the bottom sheet down, and as we get the success response back, it would animate from the bottom and a bit maybe over the background image. These transitions can seem quite easy at glance when you first imagine them, but the code and logic can get really complicated if you're not careful. So my tip is generally try to find a common denominator between all these screens and states, between all the moving parts, and try to work around this like common component. In this case, we have seen the background image being the common part between all the states. So here in the code, you will see the background height is now a shared value, and we just added some state handling with a good old React use effect. So when the state goes into loading, background height animates to full window. Let's see that. When the state goes into success, we're retrieving the background image height, the regular transaction component we have, and just pass it as a constant in here. To change the value, you'll notice we're using with timing. And yeah, so far it's just a linear animation. Right, so we had a working background height image growing. We just need to animate the bottom sheet out and the success view to slide on top. Yeah, let's create some animated styles for them. We're creating two styles, the bottom sheet wrapper position and success view position. You'll notice both use interpolate function. And just to explain interpolate really simply, like you have IMDb ratings from 0 to 10 and Rotten Tomato ratings in percentage, but basically you could kind of translate one into another. IMDb rating, you find the position in the input kind of range, which is from 0 to 10. In this case, 8.6. And if you translate it into a range between 0 to 100, it would become just 86. So that's basically what interpolation does. In our case, when the background height is the initial height, the bottom sheet translation across y-axis is 0. And when the background height is equal to the window size, the bottom sheet is pushed down vertically to the size of itself. For the success view, similarly, when the background height reaches the small size, we see the success screen. We want slightly upwards and slide over the background. Like, I'm now quite happy with this transition, but I think we can still make it look a bit more professional. So here, let's talk about easing curves. So far we've been using the linear ease, and yeah, just to explain it, as humans we're accustomed to non-linear motion, so we probably want to go ahead and upgrade it to using ease in and out kind of easing curve. And quick tip for Figma users, you can find this animation metadata by going into prototype, clicking on an arrow between some screens, and you will be presented like delays, duration, and even the easing curves, this sort of value of the curve itself. So what do? We just copy it and add it in our with timing function, just passing it an easing property. Simple as that. Nice. So you should see now some acceleration of the component moving and deceleration. And when the other moves in, it doesn't just pop out, it accelerates and decelerates. Awesome. So just to recap, Reanimated 2 is awesome, 100% recommend as animation library. Layout animations are a super simple API for smoothly mounting and unmounting components. Use Lottie to create animated components. It's quite versatile, easy to use. Use Reanimated to make your app feel more alive. Find common denominator between complex screen interactions, and use easing to make the animations feel more natural. And just to wrap it up, we're hiring. If you're interested in building these kind of high quality, certainly with lots of animations, apps, or something that customers love and you'll be proud of, contact me or find me later today.